Right now, we know we've been dealing with a lot of damage and issues out there because of this wind and this big storm event that we're experiencing. Right now, here's what we know. We just checked in with Encore, and they're looking at well over 200,000 outages at this point. This is something that spiked about 100,000 within the last 10 minutes. Again, as we wake up this morning, as people get going, they're going to realize that there are a lot of, not only are your lights going to be out of your house, we're looking at street lights. We're now seeing school delayed starts that we're just getting in. Lamplighter School in Dallas, that's actually up near 635 in Forest Lane.
Yeah, Arlington ISD also said they will delay bus pickup until the storm passes. We don't have a specific time on that, but we are checking to find out.
And DFW Airport right now, ground stop until 6:30. Nothing from Love Field at this point, but we talked about the anticipation of a lot of school districts sort of waiting to see if it's gone through since it is moving so quickly. Yeah, and we knew that this was going to be a potentially severe weather morning, but really right around 5 o'clock is when things started kicking off, maybe 4:45. And Greg Fields and Cassie Hyder have been in overnight, keeping their eyes on what's going on. And Greg, you've got the radar behind you. Again, this is something that is moving very quickly across North Texas.
Yeah, and right on schedule it was as well. We were talking about that time frame in and around the Metroplex, 5 to 7 a.m. here this morning, and that's exactly what we're dealing with this line of storms. And it has been intense with the strong winds in that 70 mile per hour range, certainly up over 60 miles per hour, approaching 70. And you can see that long line of storms from up along the Red River between McKinney and Greenville right now, the eastern portions of the Metroplex now. And when we came on a little bit earlier at 5 a.m., this line of storms was over into Tarrant County, but it has moved all the way, almost all the way across the Metroplex here. So it is a fast moving line of storms, as we said it would be. And again, it is packing quite a punch with those winds 60, 70 miles per hour in some areas right now. So we're zooming in on the eastern part of Dallas County, just east of Dallas, but approaching into Kaufman County right now. You can see the leading edge of that line of storms from Royce City right now, east of Mesquite, along 175, along I-20. So between I-30 and I-20, I'm going to have some strong winds that we're going to be dealing with here this morning, moving right over Heath. Some very heavy rain in your area. Those strong winds starting to taper off, though, as you get back a little farther west into the in downtown Dallas anyway. But as we head on up into Collin County, Highway 380 right now, going to have some very strong winds in that area, up toward a Blue Ridge, down toward Princeton, right along Highway 380. And you see that stretching out toward Greenville here this morning with those strong winds. And as we continue to go on up into Fannin, Grayson counties, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning for you until 6:30 this morning. Again, winds up over 60 miles per hour and some hail as well. Can't rule that out. That could approach quarter size with some of these storms this morning too. Frequent lightning. We've talked about all the power outages that we have across the area with those blown transformers. We saw those with Natalie Haddad's live shot a little bit earlier. And you can see Collin, Dallas, Hunt, Kaufman, and Rockwall counties still under that severe thunderstorm warning as well until 6:30. So again, this is going to be for the strong winds that we're dealing with across the area. Again, up over 60 miles per hour down toward Balch Springs, Seagoville. You're going to have some strong winds moving into your area along and south of I-20 and even a little farther south. No warnings there or Ellis County, yes, is included in that warning. That is Ellis, Henderson, Kaufman, and Navarro counties also until 6:30 with this fast moving line of storms as it works its way in. So let's go back to the Metroplex view of radar here, and you can see what's happening now. Starting to taper off, the rain is around in Tarrant County, but we're still going to have lots of heavy rain pushing a little farther east. I do want to check traffic. I want to go over to Brianda now to see what the situation is there right now.
All right, so we are getting reports right now of another overturned semi, and this is actually in that area of where Dallas County and Ellis County, that county line right there. It is affecting the southbound lanes. You could just see all that traffic that it's causing. You can't see the overturned semi on the road, but look at these semis just going through that water. 35E in the southbound lanes near Dallas County and Ellis County line. So this is another live look here in that area. It is near Bear Creek, 35E, and this is definitely affecting the southbound lanes. Just to give you a quick look more of other cameras across our Metroplex, I hope I can go back to that other camera that I had for y'all there. But if not, no, I've just been seeing cameras whipping around in the wind. That is going to be a big concern for those of you heading out on the roadways. I recommend you don't head out on the roadways. I know, I believe it was Chris that was talking about how they tried to open their door and wipe off their lens, but then the door completely shut. I do have a tip for you. If you do open your door and those heavy winds are going back and forth, make sure it doesn't swing your car door open, because it can damage vehicles and the hinges on there with those heavy winds. But I believe, are we sending it out to Chris? All right, so Chris, you're out there on the roadways. Are you heading up to Gainesville, is it?
Yes, that is correct, Brianda. We just passed over into Cook County on 35W. The big story on this highway is the overturned semis. We were just at that location in North Lake where they had 2 different semis overturned in North Lake because of the strong winds. Right now we are heading northbound on 35W towards Gainesville. That's, just south of the Red River, where there's the report of another overturned semi, and then a 4th, from what I understand, confirmed in Fort Worth. That one is not on a major highway, but still, it shows you just how strong the winds are this morning. As you take a look at the video from earlier, this is from one of those semis overturned in North Lake. We stumbled upon that scene before the first responders even got there. That was shortly before we went on the air, I'd say around 5 o'clock. The emergency lights did show up a short time later, and they were able to pull the driver out of the cabin, put him on a gurney. He was upright when they put him into the ambulance, so that is a good sign. The highway was shut down, both southbound lanes, for a time. When we left, probably about, I'd say 20 minutes ago, they opened it up to 1 lane. But right now, we are headed northbound towards that other semi. That's the big thing this morning. These semis, they're big. They are wide, they catch a lot of that wind. So when there is a huge gust, when it does reach those 70 miles per hour levels that Greg was saying that we could see this morning, yeah, they are prone to turnover. So if you're getting out on the road this morning, keep that in mind. Certainly if you're traveling behind a semi truck, I would keep my foot on the brake, hands on the wheel. And I'm gonna real quick show you, it looks like we are heading up towards some more emergency lights. So Mark and Kara, I hope to have an update for you on that other semi location when we talk again.
Boy, again, Chris, a good reminder to stay safe when you're out and about this morning. Hopefully you don't have to be, and you can kind of delay your start today. But again, those big winds, you just shared the images, Chris, a moment ago of that semi overturned. This is at an RV park on the Parker County, Wise County line near that area off White Settlement Road there. We know that EMS has been responding to that scene. You see several RVs blown over because of those winds that we have experienced across our viewing area this morning. And again, just an example of some of the damage out there that you'll be able to see once things lighten up later on.
So I think this is a good idea. You're going, okay, how is this going to impact me? I don't have to be anywhere until 7 or 8 o'clock this morning. Here's the thing. I mean, we're looking at over 300,000 customers who are impacted by these power outages. We're talking about all of this wind damage.
Yep.
We heard from our executive producer just a moment ago that Fort Worth Fire Department is reporting some down power lines across the area. No major damage, but this is going to impact you on your way to school, on your way to work if you have an appointment this morning because of down power lines, because there's going to be traffic lights, many of them likely that are going to be out. So that's why you need to allow for extra time.
Well, and you may be joining us, by the way, via our app this morning. And if you haven't downloaded it already, maybe you still have power, you're watching us on TV, a good idea to get it while you still do, because again, with so many folks dealing with these outages, we're seeing the numbers go up every 10 minutes when Encore updates their numbers. It's like that line is becoming more and more vertical this morning.
Okay, Greg, so we're going to send it back to you. And we are kind of looking, as we look forward to today, the wind isn't going anywhere. This may make it difficult too for crews who are trying to repair these lines.
Oh yeah, the winds later today will be a problem. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. But so far early this morning, we've been talking about the thunderstorm winds, and they are doing damage. Power poles down all across the Metroplex. You guys just talking about the power outages that we're dealing with as well. So you see that line of storms. We've kind of slowed it down a little bit because it is moving very quickly off to the east. But we are still looking at that damaging wind threat is going to be the main concern for us. So we'll kind of zoom in on it a little bit. And we're going to put some of these wind gusts on here for you so you can see what we're going to be dealing with along the leading edge of this line of storms as it works its way across the Metroplex right now. So if we can get those wind gusts up there and kind of put it in velocity mode there so you see what's moving toward and away from the radar right now. So we'll have those strong winds and the velocities well up over 60 miles per hour, approaching 70 miles per hour there that we're looking at with the velocities with the winds here. So yes, this has prompted the warnings across the area because of these strong winds that we are talking about, 60 to 70 miles per hour all all the way down into the southeastern part of Dallas County. You see a 70-mile-per-hour wind there, and they will certainly be doing some damage, as we've been talking about, across the area here this morning. So we'll take that off, get it back into reflectivity mode for you, and then you can see the entire line as it works its way across the area, moving out toward Greenville. It's still under the not tornado warning. We had that a little bit earlier, severe thunderstorm warnings that we do have in effect right now. We were talking about that possibility of the brief spin-ups, not seeing that now. We did have that one tornado warning a little bit earlier here this morning when we came on at 5 a.m. But you see out toward Greenville, frequent lightning we're dealing with as well with these storms. So that's going to be another dangerous component to these storms, along with the damaging wind threat. But you see, as we zoom in a little bit more, and it'll show you the warning that we do have in effect and the timing with this as well. So still Dallas County under that severe thunderstorm warning, along with the Hunt, Kaufman, and Rockwall counties, goes until 6:30 here this morning. So again, Dallas County going to be out of this here before long. So I'm sure they will get canceled from the at 6:30 from the severe thunderstorm warning, as the stronger storm is beginning to move out of Dallas County right now. So the leading edge getting a little farther east, certainly over the eastern portions of the Metroplex right now, as we continue to slide down that line of storms. And then a little farther south, getting down into Ellis County, we are looking at the severe thunderstorm threat that continues for you as well. Again, primarily for these strong winds that we've been talking about across the area, and Ellis, Henderson, Kaufman, and Navarro counties also until 6:30 with that severe thunderstorm warning in that area here as well. So yes, strong storms, damaging winds, but you see, look back into Tarrant County, Denton County. You're going to be not in the clear yet, still going to be raining, but the intense portions of the storms have moved through your area. So that gives you an idea of just how fast it is. Brief heavy downpours as well. Flooding is not going to be a concern because these storms are moving so fast. But yes, certainly ponding of water out there on the roads will be an issue. So you see these storms as they have moved through, a quick 3 inches estimated rainfall across the area here, and a quick 1.5 inches around DFW Airport up into Collin County as well, over an inch, approaching 1.5 inches. So some brief heavy downpours certainly with this, but with the fast moving system, we're not going to have it's going to be very localized with any flooding that we do see, and the ponding, especially in and around those construction zones, and some of that construction debris. We've gotten reports of that has been blown around as well. So watch out for that on the roads here this morning with these strong winds, in addition to the damage that these winds have done with the numerous power outages, power poles down, and the semis that we've been talking about that have been turned over, along with the damage to the RV park. And look at all the frequent lightning that we're dealing with here as well. So lots of lightning strikes associated with this, but notice a little farther west out toward the Tarrant County, again, the back edge of the rain, in fact, is beginning to move into the western parts of North Texas, and that trend will continue with that severe weather threat shifting farther east here as we go into the later this morning on into the afternoon. Still looking at the tornado watch, but again, that's not going to be a threat any longer for Tarrant County, Denton County areas a little farther west. It's still going to be along the leading edge of that line of storm. So we'll trim these counties a little farther west. We'll get taken out of that. Severe weather threats no longer going to be a concern there for you areas west of where we see the leading edge of this line. So yeah, power outages across a large part of the area. Just kind of looking on the monitor here with the National Weather Service chat to see if there's anything new to report as far as the power outages are concerned. But yeah, numerous reports of power outages down with downed power poles and trees across all of North Texas. Here's what it looks like on radar right now. So from Greenville out toward Terrell, that's where we're going to have the heavier rain and storms and that severe weather threat getting into our eastern counties. Out toward Canton here for us this morning, moving over toward Athens. So you're still going to be along the leading edge of those stronger storms, but the back edge of that beginning to push into the western parts of the Metroplex, in fact, right now, as far as the severe weather threat is concerned, there is really starting to taper off for you. I do want to send it over to Cassie. You have something new for us to report.
Well, Greg, I just wanted to show, you just showed the tornado watch. I just wanted to point out again that once we can get these line of severe storms, once those go through your area, that tornado threat goes away. And really what we're going to be watching is going to be that wind threat later today. And that's just going to happen for everyone. We're going to have sustained winds between 20 to 35 miles an hour, but we're still going to see isolated wind gusts as high as around 50 miles an hour. So the good news is I'm going to zoom in a little bit on radar, and we're going to kind of go down the line a little bit. I'm actually going to start around the Red River. So if you live around Sherman, you're out of it now. You've got rain. You're still going to get some wind, but we're not talking those wind gusts of 70 miles an hour anymore. Bonham, you're still actually right in it. You've got the severe thunderstorm that's moving through, but down towards McKinney, you're out of it. But the farther east you go, over towards Greenville, it is just now coming into your area. But it's moving so fast, it's moving east at about 60 miles an hour. So once it's past there, you're done. You're good for the day as far as any storms or tornado threat or anything like that. Even the hail threat, that really hasn't been a huge issue for us today. So that's pretty much going away as well. And then we get into Dallas County, we're talking about Garland and Mesquite. Well, you still have some showers and possibly it's coming down a little bit more heavily, but most of the stronger storms, that's just your east. So downtown Dallas, we are now out of that threat for any really severe storms. We're still going to see the wind later today, but Lancaster, you have some heavy rain. Down to Waxahachie, you've got some heavy rain, and we're still hearing the lightning. We can actually hear it here downtown in the Dallas WFAA studios, but we're going to still see some isolated lightning strikes. But as far as severe storms, we are out of it for now. Waxahachie, you've got very heavy rain and quite a bit of lightning moving through down towards Hillsborough. Technically not severe, but you also have some very heavy rain, but nothing to be of concern as of right now. So I just wanted to go down the line and just show you that most of us are out of that severe threat, at least in Dallas, areas to the west. We're going to have wind later today, but as far as tornadoes are concerned, we are out of it now.
Yeah, blew in very quickly this morning and moving out just as fast as you mentioned. This entire line moving very quickly across the area, but we're still going to have to deal, I think, with the residual effects from what we've been talking about with the wind damage across the area here this morning. Numerous power outages, power poles down, debris out there in the roads. And so I do want to bring in Brianda once again to talk about the traffic situation out there. You see those gusty winds that we're going to be talking about, and they're still going to be up over 40 miles per hour right now, looking at those wind gusts. So things will be blowing around out there. There could be some debris, some construction debris, especially in the roads, and they are certainly wet from the heavy rain with this line of storms as it works its way in. So Brianda, what's the update now with the traffic situation?
All right, so Tarrant County, I'm actually seeing a ton of crashes in Tarrant County. This is a live look at just one of them. So this is actually, I believe, 121. Yes, this is 121. It is backing traffic up. It looks like there's a semi involved. There's a ton of law enforcement vehicles there. I did make a map to show you exactly where this is to see if it will impact your commute. I do recommend you stay off the roads, though, because of those very heavy winds and the rain. So this is at 121 going eastbound at Minnis. And just in case that is on your commute, you make sure that you leave enough space in between you and the car in front of you as well. I'm going to pull up another crash here. This is at 20 near Hullen. So you can see that there's at least 2 or 3 lanes that are currently blocked. These are the eastbound lanes. Cars are still able to get by there, but of course it is causing those really, really tough delays. I did want to show you this earlier, and then my camera completely blew out. This is I-20 at 635. You can see those eastbound lanes, those westbound lanes are super congested, and the camera just whipping around. The rain is looking like it's sideways as well, and that's near Balch Springs. And let's see, I believe we're going to send it on out to Natalie, who's in Plano. Natalie, what are you seeing out there?
Hey, good morning to you, Brianda. We are still at the Dallas North Tollway and Windhaven intersections. We are in Plano, Collin County. Just want to speak to what we have seen throughout the morning. We got here around 4:30 in the morning and parked at a 7-Eleven here off the tollway. When we first got here, there was a lull in the weather, just not a whole lot of wind at the time, and the rain was minimal. And then right around 5:45, 5:50, right before anchors tossed to us so that we could show everyone what we were seeing, photojournalist Brandon Mowry and I saw transformers blow over the retail buildings behind me. There's a Subway, and there are also some doctor's offices, dental offices, different kinds of medicinal clinics over here, and we saw the transformers blowing up one by one by one. And to be honest with you, when we ran inside the 7-Eleven to get shelter, we were definitely fearing the worst. We knew that there were no significant warnings here, but we at least knew that all of North Texas was under a tornado watch. We knew these storms were going to be severe, as our WFAA weather team has been reporting all week. And so we ran, and we were able to shelter inside. And when we were inside, the lights flickered on and off. Again, we saw transformers blow. I believe you are seeing video of that right now, live on air. And so it was a very scary moment for for us here, just seeing the weather really come to a crescendo, a peak, again, in the Plano area, Dallas North Tollway and Wind Haven areas. It is still pitch black over here. We have a single light lighting up everything around us, and that is the only light outside of what is on top of the Dallas North Tollway right now. Currently, we are still under the awning at 7-Eleven. Lights still out, as you can see, and traffic is picking up. I would not suggest traveling around this area if you can help it, because it is still very breezy. The rain is still, while not as heavy as it was, it is still coming down, and just be careful because this was a scary situation, and while it is moving out of the way, you still want to be safe because the roads are very slick. There's still ponding, plenty of areas where we can see around us. And with that, I will send it back to you in studio.
Well, and at this point, we're hearing reports of some storm damage, right? So you see the lightning behind us. This from Kaufman ISD, due to fallen trees and passable roads as a result of the severe weather, they're going to be on a 2-hour delayed start. So bus routes will run 2 hours after their scheduled start time. We're going to follow a normal schedule for dismissal, but we're starting to hear that from a few other school districts that are coming in.
Yeah, and Kaufman is kind of southwest of Dallas, south of 20 off of 175, and you're seeing issues there. We know that Arlington ISD was going to delay bus start too. There was another school, Lamplighter School in Dallas. We've got crews on the way to Kaufman because they are reporting some of those issues with down power lines and debris. And I'm looking back at the Encore map. When you think about 311,000 customers so far, that number's been kind of ticking up every 10 minutes. Encore serves about 4 million customers. So you're coming up on almost 10% of all Encore customers dealing with some sort of outage this morning.
And that means that's going to impact not only people that you know, but it's also going to be impacting any sort of traffic lights, any sort of businesses. So it's something to keep in mind too. And Natalie was talking about, give it a second, because a lot of people are now assessing what sort of damage they're seeing on the roadways. We had heard about minor damage from Fort Worth Fire Department as far as some down power lines. So that's going to be something to keep in mind too.
Well, it's one of those things where, again, even as the storm moves past where maybe you might be, if there are down power lines in your area, that's something you want to be careful of when you're getting out and about. And again, you just have such widespread issues, folks dealing with power outages across North Texas so far this morning, and that number continues to climb up. Encore updates that map about every 10 minutes or so. So we're about, a couple minutes away from another update, and I expect that number is going to climb even higher.
Yeah, we're checking into with our local airports. A lot of people traveling right now. That ground stop set to expire at DFW at 6:30, so about 8 minutes from now. And Love Field at this point reporting delays, but not reporting a ground stop.
Yeah, we will take a quick break, but our coverage will continue on the other side of this. A very busy weather morning here. Thank you for watching WFAA and joining us streaming on WFAA Plus.